Hey guys,
We're back.
we're back.
We're tired.
Very. It's been a busy couple weeks. That's why we haven't posted anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think like last week I posted a little bit of a running video. I was on the Colorado Trail, but we had taken a vacation.
Well, my son's birthday, he just turned 16, so it was kind of like his sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do something special, and we did, and boy, was it a whirlwind.
Yeah, we flew into Springfield, Missouri, got to see our daughter, and then
squeeze her a little bit.
Yeah, and then we rented a car, and then picked up Kenneth's cousin.
Ken's best friend.
Yeah, and drove them because he had never seen the mountains. So then we drove the 12 hours out to.
So yeah, our plane. What you're going? Wait, you're skipping stuff.
Oh, okay.
So our flight was at midnight.
Mm.
These flies are killing me.
Yeah.
Our flight was at midnight. We got into Springfield about 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Ran around, because when you make a trip to the States, you have Amazon orders you need to go through. Because if you don't have Amazon, then you're going to be running around the place.
Yeah.
So it's best for all your boxes to be there. And our daughter was gracious enough to collect them all for us.
Yep.
Went through all that stuff. Ran some errands. And then had dinner. Packed the car very carefully because there was a lot of stuff. And headed to Colorado that night.
Well, we landed, what is it, around noon or so in Springfield?
No, we landed at 2.
At 2 p.m. in Springfield. 6 hours later, we had gone through all the boxes, did all the running around, had the rental car, and was on the road and drove through the night.
Which we highly regret.
Yeah.
We should have gotten a hotel and just chilled and slept. And that was his dog. But, because it seemed like it took longer because we kept rotating to be safe, who was tired, who wasn't tired, to get there.
Yeah, because, it was a long night. We got to Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs that morning. Walked around the park there, which is kind of a habit. We almost always do that.
Yeah.
Grabbed something to eat. You got to go to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Pick up some groceries. And then we loaded up and headed into the mountains up through Buena Vista and then into Copper, and that's where we stayed. Yeah.
Needless to say, I don't think I recovered after that. I was tired. Yeah. And then, of course, there's fires, and so the smoke, air quality. My sinuses were going crazy.
Yeah, the dry air did not help.
No. But we kind of wanted to give a little information on what we did in order to get back to the United States during this whole COVID and all that fun stuff. You have to have a COVID test in order to get back into the U.S. So San Jose Airport, as of now, because everything changes all the time. So as of now, you can get your COVID test at San Jose. They have a shuttle that takes you to like a temporary lab pop-up tent type thing.
Yeah.
To get your COVID test, and then you sit there for your results. And they usually have them before, but definitely by an hour you will have your results.
We did that the day before, just so that there wasn't any crunch on time.
I'm a pre-planning freak, kind of, and I needed to have the results, and I didn't, because we were leaving in the morning, I didn't want to wait in line, and I didn't want any hiccups, so I wanted to get the test done ahead of time.
And you have to have this test, it doesn't matter if you've been vaccinated, what vaccine you had,
doesn't
when
matter.
You've had vaccine, does not matter.
I've noticed there's been some confusion, on some forums and stuff, that, well, why do I have to take the test when I'm vaccinated? Doesn't matter. You still have to take the test whether or not you are vaccinated in order to get back into the United States. That is a requirement. So we got our test. The test cost, as of this time, $65 at the San Jose airport.
Yeah, $65 a person, and
you have to show them your flight itinerary and of course your passport.
Yep.
So they can track it, and then they kind of attach it to your flight schedule. So nobody's going to ask you to see your negative COVID test because it's already attached through the computer or whatever.
And so we flew out. Really no hiccups as far as the flight goes. Luggage was fine.
A blooming long layover.
Yeah.
Some airlines are having difficulties with these flights to Costa Rica. We had several time changes, several gate changes.
Well, we had 3 time changes in the week before the actual flight.
So just to prepare you, stay on top of your flight information and all that stuff, because it seems like it was constantly changing every time we checked.
Yeah, and every time you get to the next airport, especially if you're doing connections, as soon as you get off the plane, like for us, we have to wait till we hook up to Wi-Fi because we don't have a U.S. cell number.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get off the plane, hook up to Wi-Fi and check your airline's app and check your emails, because what you'll do is you'll get updated where the gates are or which gate you're supposed to go to. And ours changed several times.
Yeah. But if you're coming, a lot of people are coming to Costa Rica because it's easy. You don't have to have a vaccine. You don't have to have a COVID test. You don't have to quarantine yourself.
Nope.
But what you do have to have is travel insurance, a Costa Rican travel insurance that covers COVID with a hotel stay.
Costa Rican government has approved certain insurance companies, and you buy insurance through them. It's not very much.
No, it's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. And then what they'll do is they'll guarantee that if you come to Costa Rica and you get sick and you can't go back to the States, they'll cover the medical cost.
Well, the insurance will.
Yeah, the insurance.
Yeah, not Costa Rica.
Yeah, no.
They did that in the beginning, and it was a hard lesson learned.
Yeah.
So you have to do that, and you have to fill out a health pass, and that's where you enter your insurance information and where you're going and all that fun stuff. Probably one of the biggest shocks about going back to the United States for us is everybody was mask free.
Yeah, there's no masks.
Here, it's still mask time.
Yeah.
So bring some masks with you because, everybody's still masked up, and you still have to wash your hands when you go into a building, and still the same. And there is a curfew too, 10 p.m. Everything shuts down.
Yeah, and then depending on if you have I don't know if it affects the rental cars, but the taxis and the residents.
It doesn't affect the taxis.
It doesn't affect taxis?
No, just the residents have a driving restriction, and that changes often, so I can't quote it to you because I don't know it, because we don't have a car. So
basically what they're doing is only so many days a week can somebody with like an even ending license plate drive. So you get an alternating thing.
Right. Before we left, the COVID numbers here in our town in Palmares was going sky high.
Yeah, it was
pretty much because, we had Holy Week and families had gotten together that hadn't seen each other in a while, and I foresaw that this was going to probably be a problem. As far as the vaccine, Costa Rica is still in the stage of vaccinating people with critical issues. So it's kind of moving along slowly here.
Yeah, you're either got to be of a certain age
or have a health condition.
So, but like I said, right now the numbers are dropping here, and there's just what you get is fluctuations. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think that's just going to be the way things are.
Now, after we got home, we decided to self-quarantine ourselves because we didn't want to bring anything back to anybody in our neighborhood,
Right.
any of the elderly. So we quarantined ourselves for like 5 days for any signs.
And
Like that.
didn't have any problems, but we had to get the quarantine over quick because then we had a visitor.
Yeah.
And so this is like our second friend who's come down from the United States to actually visit us.
Yeah. And what was awesome about this visit, she didn't want to do any tourist things except for visit a coffee farm.
Yeah.
She just kind of wanted to see how we lived our daily lives and what we did. And
it was funny because I said, hey, do you want to go to the volcanoes? Do you want to go to the beach? Do you, what are you looking for? And she said, I really don't want to do the tourist stuff. I want to see how actual Costa Ricans are living. What is normal for them.
And we didn't videotape because we're spending time with her.
Yeah.
And if we go through the things that we went and saw, we went to a coffee farm, but we didn't go to a commercial coffee farm.
No.
We went to a family coffee farm. We visited a school, a bilingual school, and so she can get an idea how they're handling COVID in the school system and how their curriculum and their school works. Because
she is a teacher in the States, she also works with kids with handicap, especially blind
and Braille.
And so she's been helping out some of the students in a neighboring town.
Here in Costa Rica.
And so she got to come down and visit the students and actually see the people who she was helping.
Because there's some products that Costa Rica does not have available to the seeing impaired. So with her help, we were able to provide some things and some books and just all. It was just a wonderful thing.
It was really, really good. The kids were so happy to see her and actually get to meet the person who's been sending stuff. And she brought a bunch more supplies for them.
Yeah.
But we got to, it was fun because since we were kind of winging it a little bit, it was more of, okay, hey, we want to, take her out to dinner tonight somewhere local because we'd gone to several of the sodas that we had normally gone to.
We also went to a really amazing restaurant that when we go again, we will take video because the view was amazing.
Well, we were talking to some friends of ours, and they're like, and we said, hey, we need a place to go, something that the locals go to that she would like. And they're like, oh, well, there's this pizza place up on the mountain. Okay, sure. So I contacted Alexander, and we loaded up, headed over there in the evening time, right about sunset. Now, that particular evening, there was a lot of clouds.
It was very foggy. So you really, at this restaurant, you can see the ocean from where we are at, which is pretty awesome.
You're basically on the top part of the mountain ridge. You can see all the way across the jungle as it goes all the way down to the beach and into the Nicoya Peninsula. So sunsets there are amazing.
Yeah. And if you don't know anybody, you would not know where this restaurant is.
Yeah, no. If you don't know where it's at, then you're not going to find it.
Nope. That and
it wasn't an Italian family, or it's a husband and wife. She was Costa Rican and he's Italian.
And he's Italian. Yeah.
Really good pizza.
I had
excellent pizza.
Shrimp and pasta. It was very good.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't that expensive either. But and then like last night, it's hey, it's your last dinner here. We didn't really know somewhere new to take her because like I said, we'd done the local soda thing.
Well, and it's also Monday. You know how things in the U.S. are closed on Sunday? Well, here they're closed on Monday. So some of the restaurants that we know about that we would have taken her are closed. So we had to do a little research.
And it was really cool. We were talking to Alexander, and he's like, "Oh, we'll take her over to such and such restaurant." And I'm like,
needless to say, we've almost been here 4 years.
Yeah.
This restaurant's not far from us, and we have never been into it.
Well, once we drove up to the front of it, I'm like, oh,
actually, we always thought it was just a bar.
Yeah,
so
I just thought it was a bar. And so we drove up to the front of it, and it's like, huh. Walked in the back, and this is how cool Alexander was. He'd already called to tell them, hey, make sure you have openings available for these folks.
Mm-hmm.
And we went over there.
Crowded.
It wasn't crowded.
They had you separated, a good distance.
Well, so you go to order the food, and I got like this chicken tacos, and it's all separate parts. Really, my dog.
Yes.
And
no.
So
can't.
it was this much chicken.
It was huge.
And she got shrimp and rice.
Yeah, arroz con camarones.
Yeah, arroz con
and
camarones.
It was huge. I had enough for to feed two people.
Yeah, we got doggy bags.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we finally finished it all off today.
Mm-hmm.
But really, really good food. And I was talking with the owner and said, hey, yeah, we just live up the street. And he immediately gives me his card. He goes, oh, we do express.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the card. Give us a call, and you can order what you want. So we'll deliver it to your house.
And I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but the really cool thing about Costa Rica and COVID is you can get anything pretty much delivered.
You really can.
A lot of the times without a charge, because they have thought of ways to keep their business going, because they need tourism, and it's been non-existent.
Yeah, and these small shops, every little barrio is full of small mom and pop shops, whether it be restaurants or small stores. Well, when COVID hit and these places started getting knocked down, they had to find a way to make money. So delivery became a huge thing. We have a buddy of ours we go to church with, Guillermo, and he has an express business, and all he does is him and his scooter. You call him, tell him what you need picked up. He goes and gets it and brings it to your place. So, I said, everybody here has a job and everybody has a side hustle. Everybody works. It's pretty cool.
Everybody thinks outside of the box in order to bring money home.
Yeah.
So another thing, we got to see our landlord's orchid garden.
Oh, yeah.
And the different orchids that he has been cross-pollinating, which was very interesting. I had no idea that he was doing this. So it was really great that my friend came and he was explaining this to her.
Yeah.
In Spanish. And it was just kind of awesome that I'm like, well, look at you. I didn't know that you were doing all that over there.
Oh, yes. Do you see this plant over here and this plant over here? Well, I send the pollen and all the stuff off.
I take the pollen from 2 plants. And then
it's shipped off to a lab somewhere else in Costa Rica.
my level.
And then he's like, do you see this plant here? Only I have this plant. Holy crap, I had no idea. But anyway, it was really good. She was very open to stepping outside of her comfort zone, trying new things, and just having fun, and she did great. It was a really good week.
She even ordered one of my washing machines.
She did.
Because, they own a farm, and she just thought that washing machine would be perfect for all of the farm clothes. They get nasty with cow manure and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, she was
convinced.
Yeah, she watched. We were washing some clothes. She watched how dirty the water got and how good that agitator works. And she goes, "I'm going to get on Amazon right now."
Yeah. Yep. So it'll probably be there before she gets there. She left today.
Yep.
And so everything's going pretty good right now. She should be home soon.
Yeah, she's back in the States. Got through everything. Got her testing all done. So no problems there. But I was going to give you guys a heads up. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking to a guy by the name of Eric Dieter, who runs Ultra Marathon Mindset. It's a podcast series, and he's going to be asking me some questions on running and stuff like that. So that should come up on his channel. I'll have to put a link below. And what else do we have going on?
We don't. What we're wanting to do with the channel is be more consistent. Let us know. I just kind of had an idea because I have friends that make organic soaps and lotions and stuff, and that have these small businesses. And I don't know, kind of brainstorming. It'd be kind of interesting to interview them on their things and their products, and then like put a link to their information, at the bottom of the video.
Yeah, that was.
So let me know if you'd be interested in that. We're just trying to do anything to help our friends and the economy and, the little people that are really being affected by all of this craziness.
Yeah, it was cool because last night we were talking before she left, and she mentioned that the one thing that was really different about being here, she said, well, people are just people doing their thing, and you don't have to put up defenses. You don't have to guard what you say as much. You don't have to guard what you do as much.
Mm-hmm.
People will just kind of stay out of each other's business and let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I really feel like I'm decompressing big time.
Mm-hmm. Because it gets dark here at like 5:30 or 6, and so she's like, why am I so tired? I go, because you're relaxed.
You're relaxed.
And so, my son was making fun of us because we were all asleep by like 8 or 9 every night.
Yeah, we were. But anyway, I got one story, and I'll let you guys go. Mm-hmm. But so she goes to the airport this morning. She had like 25,000 colones on her because we knew the taxi ride with Alexander was going to be like, I don't know, 22, 24. We just wasn't quite sure. Mm-hmm. Anyway, she gets down there and pays Alexander. Well, he
makes sure that he drops her off at the shuttle for the COVID testing.
Yeah, with enough time.
She was there way ahead of time. Yeah. But the minute you don't plan for the time, is the minute something happens, and then you don't have enough time.
So anyway, she pays it, but she didn't have the correct change, and she had like a little bit too much money. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Well, hey, make sure just give it back to Jim and Toy." Well, what was funny, before she could get her testing done and text us that, hey, I'd give him a little extra money to send back to you guys, he already texted us.
He told us that she was safe, she was dropped off,
yeah,
and that he had change for us because she didn't have change, and that she said to give it to you guys.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And matter of fact, he just dropped it off a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's just stuff like that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. Mm-hmm. And so just, and there's so many different little things that so many people hear, like at the coffee place, the family that runs that coffee farm, they don't give out private tours.
No, it was just because we knew certain people and they were friends, and
yep.
It was totally a who you know thing.
Yeah, and
it was an amazing tour, and
you
had no clue, let alone the pricing and shipping market of coffee and exactly what is done.
Yeah, it's so, I don't know. There's a lot of very, very special kind of people down here, and we want to get a chance to kind of show their stories a little bit, maybe. Mm-hmm. So that way, for you guys, if you want to come down and visit the country, you kind of have an idea of the culture that you're coming into.
It's something that you're not going to get off the news or any kind of report, or any kind of expat group of. I feel that a lot of things are taken out of context or whatever about the people here in Costa Rica, because it's a wonderful place to visit.
It really is.
And the people are great. And I think once you get it through your head, there are good and bad people everywhere, and not just hold it against a country. Yeah. I think you'll be better off for it.
Absolutely. And like I said, it was so wonderful to get to share this with her because
we get excited when somebody, not that anybody's, we've only had two people come down. We get excited when the people that come get it. Yeah. Like they get why we're here.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, but there's flies out here.
gonna
Take
rain.
care. I'll put the link to the podcast. And again, guys, if you have any questions, anything you want to see, just let us know. Talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.